From Wilmington, California, the MCU Sports Network presents NAIA Men's College Soccer, the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers versus the Marymount, California University Mariners. Hi everyone, I'm David Smock. Welcome to Seahawk Stadium on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College and tonight's showdown in the California Pacific Conference between Cal Maritime and Marymount, California. For the Keel Haulers, they opened the season yesterday and a 1-0 loss to Soka University down in Orange County. Now 26 hours later, the Keel Haulers will be playing their second game of the season. Meanwhile, the Mariners, they are 5-2 overall. More importantly, 3-0 in the Cal Pac Conference standings. Their only two losses, non-conference affairs, losing in La Mirada to Biola University and at home hosting Westmont College. Again, tonight, it's the Keel Haulers and the Mariners getting ready to kick off. So both teams on the pitch as we get set for the opening kickoff. California Maritime will be in the all-white uniforms, white jerseys, white shorts. Meanwhile, for Marymount, California, they are wearing their brand new blue and gold striped jerseys. And you may be able to pick up some of the numbers of players at home better than we can here at the stadium because they basically have almost yellow on yellow. We've already heard one fan in the stands say that they kind of look a little bit like bumblebees. And California Maritime will kick off to get things started for the Keel Haulers. This is their second match of the year. They dropped their first match in Laguna Niguel 1-0 to Soka University. And you heard Mark Hervin, the head coach at Marymount, California, saying that Soka will be one of the top teams again this year in the California Pacific Conference. For Marymount, California, they had their 3-match winning streak snapped in its last match, a non-conference friendly more or less with Westmont College, but an opportunity tonight for the Mariners to go 4-0 in the California Pacific Conference should they defeat California Maritime. One of the things that you have to kind of look for regarding California Maritime is how their legs are. They are playing their second match just 26 hours after playing their first of the year as an opportunity to come in and perhaps get a shot off. But Christos Voglis, so far in the early going, MCU controlling the ball on the right-hand side of the field. We expect Kyle Carpenter to be in goal for California Maritime and Christo Voglis in goal for Marymount, California University. This is the second and last game of the season scheduled to be played here at Seahawk Stadium on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College. They'll have a couple of matches on field number 5 at the StubHub Center in Carson, and they will also have a big showdown against Embly-Riddle University, and that match will be played at Long Beach City College. So just about 2.5 minutes into the first half here, no score. Again, the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers in the all-white uniforms and in the striped blue and gold jerseys, the Marymount, California University Mariners. These uniforms basically just came in, arrived about 24 hours ago. Pretty much the players are the same, except that Bobby Long, who was wearing number 2, is now wearing number 17 in these new uniforms. And Satcha Hacker, he, instead of wearing number 2, is now number 17. So those two players basically changed and a shot on goal. And Kyle Carpenter had to dive for that one. So the first shot on goal of the game, and that was a good opportunity by Fernando Ruiz. Ruiz, a 5'11 junior forward from Ecuador. Number of international players on this Marymount, California University roster. And again, MCU showing good ball possession. We mentioned that this is their second match. Another one there is going to be handled by Carpenter in the air. Their previous game here was the conference opener against Pacific Union College, and where they scored the first goal 40 seconds into the game, and it was kind of one of those things of score early and score often, as they ended up eventually beating Pacific Union by a score of 16-0. Just about 5 minutes into this 45-minute first half. We mentioned that California Maritime nicknamed the Keel Haulers as the ball will be kicked back into play. The ball is Collentine. And another shot on goal. That was just going to be wide right by Briley Venti. Briley Venti, a 5'9" freshman midfielder from Glendora out of LaSalle High School. Obviously, the name of the game is to get the ball into the back of the net, but if you can control the ball in the attacking half of the pitch, you have a better chance of getting that into the back of the net for a goal. So anyway, we were talking about how California Maritime Academy, their nickname is the Keel Haulers, and the question is, well, what is a keel hauler? And a keel haul is to haul under the keel of a ship by ropes attached to the yard arms on each side. Now, keel hauling was a form of corporal punishment that was formerly practiced as a punishment in the Dutch and English navies. It was used as a way to punish members of the crew who were guilty of serious breaches of the ship's code of conduct. Now, keel hauling involved tying the hands of a crew member to a rope and hauling him under the keel of the ship. And while the practice of keel hauling was formally abolished in 1853, the keel hauler lives on as the official mascot of Cal Maritime Athletics. And as you can imagine, Cal Maritime Keel Haulers, one of the most unique mascots in intercollegiate athletics. In fact, in years past, it has earned the distinction among national and regional media outlets as one of the top 25 nicknames in intercollegiate athletics. I think also on that list, also up in Northern California, would be the UC Santa Cruz Banana Slugs. But anyway, it's the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers. They're actually officially one of the 23 California State Universities in the state. And battle for the ball, trying to get it as Lindsay for Pacific Union. A shot on goal by, and a shot by Will Lindsay, 6-foot junior midfielder and defender from Huntington Beach out of Edison High School, gives California Maritime a 1-0 lead. That's also their first goal of the 2013 season, as they were shut out in the opener at Soka University. So that comes at the 37:53 mark. And now the restart by Maritime California. Now check that, I'm sorry, by Marymount, California on the restart. Again, in case you're just joining us, California Maritime in the all-white uniforms, Marymount, California in the blue and gold striped jerseys. At game time, it was supposed to be clear, 67 degrees with a 70% humidity level and wind out of the west at 9 miles per hour, but we see some very dark clouds that have moved in off of the west, and feels like it's a little breezier than just 9 miles per hour. We've already a couple of times I've had to kind of grab our papers before the wind would blow them out of our broadcast location. Here we're inside the press box at Seahawk Stadium on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College. Seats about 2,000 people, 1,500 on the main grandstand side where we are, and about 500 on the visiting stands. Throw in for the Keel Haulers. That goes off of the head of Collentine. 35:51 to play first half. 1-0 in favor of California Maritime Academy. Long pass. Hayes. And now CMA trying to do its best to keep the ball away from Marymount, California. An opportunity tonight for Marymount California University to get their 4th win in conference play, the California Pacific Conference. All of the schools are in the state of California with the exception of Embry-Riddle. They're down in Prescott, Arizona. And in fact, that's where the conference tournament will be held. Dangerous time there, and finally kicked away by Timone, we should say, spelled T-A-M-O-N-E, Ben Timone, 6'2", 185-pound sophomore from Juneau, Alaska. So Edmiston with the throw-in. Forward to Briley Venti. And long shot on goal, but it's going to be handled easily by Carpenter. Christos Voglis in goal for Marymount, California tonight. It's interesting getting a chance to interview some of the players in our pregame and also a chance to interview MCU head coach Mark Hervin. Oh, that's going to be a high shot. It goes over the goal. That one was taken by Fernando Ruiz. He's already had a couple of shots. So 32-32 to play in the first half. And California Maritime Academy with a 1-0 lead over Marymount, California. We were talking about CMA and their mascot nickname of being the Keel Haulers. Now, prior to the really kind of establishment of intercollegiate athletics at California Maritime, they were known as, in like the early 70s, as the Sea Wolves. In California Maritime, just one of 7 maritime colleges or universities in the entire United States. So we'll see who has the restart. And that's Martinez who got the play going again. And now an opportunity, if he can beat the goalie, but couldn't do so. And that was Victor Ahlgren with that chance. Ahlgren, 6'2" senior forward from Sweden. And that one goes out of bounds. Sokolsky just kind of threw up his hand saying, no, I'm not going to touch it. So should be a throw-in coming up for California Maritime. We're talking about the Marymount California University roster, and players from Sweden, Germany, England, Ecuador, Mexico, and Iran. Now the throw-in. The very early minutes of this first half, Marymount, California controlling the ball on the right side of the pitch, putting a lot of pressure on the California Maritime defense. And then all of a sudden, it seems like after the goal by Lindsay at the 37:53 mark, and again counting down from 45 minutes, and it seems ever since that goal by Lindsay that Marymount, California perhaps has not been quite as cohesive offensively, and maybe not putting as much pressure on the keel hauler defense as they were earlier. A little bit of a delay, I'm not exactly sure why. International soccer, the official time is kept by the referee. In college soccer, the referee can stop the clock just like American football. So in essence, the time on the scoreboard here in this college game, and in almost any college game, is actually the official time. There's no added time or anything like that. Header, that went off the head of Timone. And a shot off the fingertips just clears the crossbar and it goes out of bounds. You heard Mark Hervin talk about some of the top teams in the conference who will be tough, one of them being Soka University. We'll have that game for you from the StubHub Center here on the MCU Sports Network. And we'll also have the other key game against Embry-Riddle later on this season. That one will be played at Long Beach City College. So restart coming up. Semeth Abasith will have the restart. Again, Venti with the shot. And a goal. I'll wait for it to show up on the scoreboard. It looked like it was good, unless they waved it off as being offside. And now it's up on the board, 1-1 at the 27:07 mark. Okay, so it looks like Algren. If that might be Briley Venti, because we've kind of noticed the bright orange shoes. But regardless, California Maritime and Marymount, California in a 1-1 tie. Still lots of soccer to be played here. Not even quite halfway through the first half. David Smock along for our camera operator Robert Linkram. And our production assistant Debbie and Nora. Glad to have you with us here on the MCU Sports Network. And then ball going out of bounds. Quick throw in. Timone with some good defense, number 15 for California Maritime. We're saying that Kyle Carpenter was supposed to be in goal tonight, but I'll be honest, I think it's another goalkeeper for California Maritime. We'll check. Yeah, the break on their roster, they only list Carpenter. Now Voglis, he'll track this one down. He's been pretty much just an interested spectator down on the field. Through in by Alex Sikulski. Sikulski, as mentioned earlier, out of San Francisco from Sacred Heart Catholic Prep High School. Now Weehan is going out, and I'll check the number of the player coming in. And that would be Silas Collentine, a 5'10", 172-pound sophomore midfielder from Vancouver, Washington, transferred from Denver University. We'll check on one other substitution. So Alex Martinez also coming on for the Keel Haulers in place of Tomane. Oh, for Marymount. Tony Gonzalez coming in for the Mariners, replacing Briley Venti. Of course, in college soccer, you can go out of the game and come back in, unlike international soccer rules or like Major League Soccer. You can, if you come out of the game, you're out for the night or for the duration of the game. Corner kick coming up by Jason Milletti. Milletti trying to get it back in front of the goal mouth. That was knocked back again. Touched initially by Melendez. And now the ball out of bounds. Will be a throw-in coming up. Edmiston with the throw-in for the Keel Haulers. Algren shot, and Algren scores. And it's 2-1 in favor of Marymount, California. And indeed, if they credit that to Algren, that would be his second goal of the game. The reason we think it was Algren is he has these very bright orange shoes that he's wearing, even though we have trouble making out the numbers of some of the players. A celebration penalty, and kind of like a team yellow card, it seems, may have been called against Marymount, California. Now we have, it appears to be a substitution. And it would be Christopher Lindahl. But if Algren got both goals, it's so far Victor Algren 2 and California Maritime Academy 1. And 3 goals scored already in about the first 24 minutes of the game. Another opportunity. And another goal. It looks like that may be Jason Milletti. So now MCU with a 3-1 lead. When California Maritime scored the first goal, but since then 3 unanswered goals in about a 6-minute period by the Marymount California University Mariners, and that gives the M's a 3-1 lead. So Martinez puts the ball back into play, comes out towards midfield, handled off Timonet. I'm sure as a coach or a longtime soccer fan, maybe they'll say, well, this hasn't been the best first half. But I tell you, just from a television standpoint, very impressive ball control by the Mariners. And putting the ball, Gonzalez, in front of the goal mouth, but there's nobody there to get it into the back of the net for MCU. Melendez marked off the ball. And that was Patterson for MCU. So now Sikulski will put the ball back into play for California Maritime. Again, in case you're just joining us, California Maritime, located up in Vallejo, California. They are in the all-white uniforms. And the Marymount California University Mariners are in the blue and gold striped jerseys and blue shorts that they're wearing for the very first time. These new uniforms just arrived about 24 hours before game time. Long pass downfield. This looks like Algren. Algren trying to see if he can get a shot, and he does. That's a 4th goal. And if that's the case from the other goals, that would give Algren a hat trick just in the first half, coming at 16-23. And Algren now gives MCU a 4-1 lead. Well, Mark Hervin, the head coach of Marymount, California, he had concerns about the legs of California Maritime. Often when you play a game, you try to wait about 48 hours before you play again. In the case of the Keel Haulers, they are playing 26 hours after playing their first match of the year. And again, as mentioned, that was down in Laguna Niguel in Orange County against Soka University. And the Lions getting the 1-0 win. So with the Keel Haulers 0-1, California, now check that, Marymount, California 5-2, 3-0 in the conference, and the only two losses in La Mirada to Biola, and they lost at home in another non-conference match, their last match, to Westmont College. So 4-1 lead here at Seahawks Stadium in Wilmington. Now Algren with the ball, tries to center it in front of the goal mouth. And there's a shot on goal. That's going to be blocked. And the block by Fernando Ruiz. Well, actually the kick was by Alston Stanley. Throw in. There's Algren. We can only tell Algren over in the corner because of the bright orange shoes. So under 15 minutes to go into the first half. And the first 30 minutes, we've already seen 5 goals in the game. Now a corner kick coming up. And the kick for Marymount, California in the far corner will come over in front of the goal mouth. California Maritime scoring the first goal. Sikulski with the ball. Gives over to, I think it was Lindsay. Lindsay trying to chase it down. Now an opportunity for MCU with a shot on goal, and he got another goal by Tony Gonzalez at the 14-minute mark. And now this is turning into a rout. It's 5-1 MCU. And 5 unanswered goals by the Mariners. And we still have exactly 14 minutes remaining in the first half. And now the referee looking at one of the players. It may have been Will Lindsay. So playback underway following the goal. We'll get all the goal scorers, assists, and all that information. And we'll give that to you prior to the start of the second half. But so far, a very strong performance. We mentioned how California Maritime is playing their second game just 26 hours later. For the MCU Mariners, they've had 72 hours of rest in between matches. Forward to Algren. Algren has the block kicked by the goalie and cleared away by Lindsay. Austin Geardy trying to keep that ball in play. 5'4", 140-pound freshman midfielder and forward from Huntington Beach out of Huntington Beach High School. Again, another steal on possession of the ball by the Mariners. Done a very fine job of keeping the ball on the right side of the pitch. We said for a while after that initial goal by Lindsay for CMA that perhaps it kind of threw the Mariners off a little bit. They kind of settled down, started to take control again, and now they have 5 goals to show for it. Wow, that could have been a close collision between the goalkeeper. We're not sure who made the charge as he quickly gets back into position. And that would have been Shasha Hacker, who almost collided with the goalkeeper. Ball kicked out of bounds again. Tyler Boyd for California Maritime, trying to keep that one in play. In fact, Boyd's another Southern California product. 5'9", 155-pound freshman defender midfielder from Mission Viejo out of Mission Viejo High School. That was going to be caught by Sokolsky out of bounds, and he'll have the throw in. Sokolsky throws it into the corner. There's Algren. He's moving the ball forward. Now trying to make a break for it, and a shot on goal is good by Scott Smith. And that makes it MCU 6 and California Maritime 1. We were talking about the other game this season, the conference opener that Marymount, California hosting the Pacific Union College Pioneers here at Seahawk Stadium in a 16-0 rout. In that game, Scott Smith had 5 goals. Well, he already has 1 here tonight. So Jason Milletti goes out for the Mariners. Coming in, Mauricio Vasquez, 5'11" freshman forward from Guadalajara, Mexico, out of Otay Ranch High School. And a 6-1 lead for Marymount, California here just in the first half. Still have 10.5 minutes until halftime. Christos Vogelis in goal for Marymount, California. He's had an opportunity to kind of catch up on his homework, maybe listen to a little music. We say that in jest because basically Vogelis hasn't had to do anything. There's Victor Algren already with a hat trick tonight, unofficially. He kicks it over, but it's going to be headed away by Mariner. But another shot on goal, gets away from the goalkeeper, but he gets back in position, although the ball is still alive. And another shot attempt by Algren. And finally, the ball goes out of bounds. 9:38 left in the first half. The Marymount California University Mariners 6 and the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers 1. We know fans are tuning in off and on, so if you've been with us throughout the broadcast, we apologize for repeating. But for those of you just joining us, the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers in the all-white uniforms and the MCU Mariners in the black and gold striped jerseys. Again, a number of Mariners right in front of that goal area. Nice hitter by Martinez to clear the ball out for California Maritime. Now Algren with another shot on goal. We're going to see if that one is going to be offsides or if they're going to put it up on the scoreboard. And now Algren, the goal counting with 8:16. And if our unofficial stats are correct, that's 4 goals in the first half for Victor Algren. And now MCU with a 7-1 lead. You know, they put 16 on the board against Pacific Union, 7 so far in the first half against California Maritime. You'd kind of think maybe in the 2014 season the Mariners are going to want to play all their games here because they seem to be scoring a lot of goals. Ruiz with the ball right in front of the goal mouth, but it's going to be cleared away. But another shot on goal, and this one will be handled easily on a bounce by the goalkeeper. We had Kyle Carpenter slated to be in goal for the Keel Haulers, but I don't think that's him. But we also do not see another goalkeeper listed on the California Maritime roster. More offensive pressure. Now trying to chase the ball down before it would go out of bounds. Considering how much the ball has been controlled by MCU in the first half, in this right half of the pitch, it's almost kind of amazing to realize that California Maritime even got the ball downfield enough to score a goal. Pengua with the throw-in for Marymount, California. And quick shot by Algren. That's going to be handled by the keeper. There might be 4 goals too late. By unofficial count, Victor Algren of Marymount, California with 4 goals here. We still have just under 5.5 minutes remaining in the first half. 7-1 in favor of Marymount, California. The Mariners looking for their 4th conference win of the year in 4 tries. They'd certainly like to be one of those teams going down to Prescott, Arizona at the end of the season for the California Pacific Conference Tournament. Gonzalez throwing it there, kicking it in front of the goal mouth, but really nobody there to follow up for MCU. We were kind of expecting almost a balmy night, although the wind has died down a little bit compared to when the game first started. But it was supposed to be clear, and all of a sudden, right before game time, clear was in the forecast, clear skies. And yet, it seemed like at the last minute, right before the opening kickoff, all these clouds moved in off the Pacific Ocean, so a very cloudy night. We mentioned how before intercollegiate athletics really started at CMA within the framework of, say, NAIA, as opposed to when they used to play other military team. They are known as the Sea Wolves. Well, they have a training ship, as Algren appears, looks like we'll have the restart, although has a teammate over there. We'll see who's going to take the kick, and instead it's on the free kick. And be cleared away. The training ship at California Maritime is a former attack cargo ship. It was originally part of the United States Navy and has been renamed the Golden Bear. So it's the TS, standing for training ship, the TS Golden Bear. And that's the 3rd ship in the history of the California Maritime Academy to bear that name. The original ship way back when was the TS State of California. And now another opportunity, and Gonzalez getting marked off the ball temporarily. Now gets it right in front of the goal mouth, and a good grab out of the air by the goalkeeper. Until we find out otherwise, we're still going to assume that's Kyle Carpenter, but we'll check on second half lineups as well during the break. And 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. The Marymount California University Mariners 7 and the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers 1. There'll be a restart after the foul. Okay, Scott Smith on the restart in the air, and a little header just goes over to the right of the crossbar out of bounds. Well, in soccer, you never say never until you get triple zeros on the scoreboard in the second half, but you think that right now, California Maritime have a good opportunity here to pick up a win, already leading 7-1. That means California Maritime would need just 6 goals to tie, and that's provided they don't give up any other goals to Marymount, California. Trying to track it down is Gonzalez, but it goes out of bounds. 1 minute to play in the first half. 1 minute. Again, a 7-1 lead for Marymount, California. Now trying to control the ball is Melendez. He's kind of marked off of it, and the loose ball is intercepted. Now goes right back over. Hayes had it. Now off the foot of Martinez. And on one hop, the ball is going to be handled by the goalkeeper once again. Voglis. He's about 20 yards rather, in front of his goal, the goalie for Marymount, California, Christos Voglis. Voglis, one of the Swedish players on this MCU roster, and he's just basically been a spectator, even though he gave up the 1 goal. Yeah, about the 37:53 mark. That was the first goal. And now triple zeros on the board. We have reached halftime at Seahawks Stadium on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College in Wilmington. It's the Marymount California University Mariners 7 and the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers 1. The Mariners by 6 at the break. Our guest is Ryan Jackson from California Maritime Academy, a local product out of Palos Verdes High School. And first of all, Ryan, I guess my first question is, how'd you go from being a Palos Verdes High School Sea King to being a California Maritime Academy keel hauler?
Well, I mean, we growing up like right next to the Port of Long Beach and the Port of Los Angeles, and I mean, it's a small specialized school that feels right at home to me.
And as far as the majors are concerned, a little bit different than a lot of colleges. What is your major at Cal Maritime?
I'm actually international business and logistics major. But yeah, we have not a lot of majors, but we have four main ones.
Now, with your major, what will you do once you graduate?
Work as a port operator, port engineer, all over. I mean, we specialize mainly in supply chain and logistics, but it can go from working in the port to, working finances or accounting with, major companies.
Talk a little bit about your days at Palos Verdes High School. What do you remember playing soccer for the Sea Kings?
I actually didn't play for them. I was actually on their golf team, but I played AYS-owned club here on the Hill for many years, and then went to golf, but picked soccer back up when I went to Cal Maritime.
Now, you're a senior this year. Let's talk a little bit about this team. If you're a coach, for example, how would you break down your club? Obviously, you've only played 1 match, so what have you seen so far?
We're looking pretty strong. We're still getting to know each other, so that's a big part. But mainly, each and every day, we're bonding as a team, and we're getting stronger. So it's nice.
What do you know about Marymount, California coming into the match tonight?
I know they're pretty strong, they're fast, they're big, so I think we're going to give them a run for their money.
Ryan, thanks for the visit, and good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Visiting with Kyle Carpenter, the starting goalkeeper for California Maritime Academy. And Kyle, first of all, how did you end up playing at CMA?
Well, I kind of, going out of high school, I just looked around at colleges and really didn't focus on soccer. I focused on what I wanted to do afterwards, because I knew I wanted to play soccer, but I really wanted to get a career, and Cal Maritime was a perfect fit for that.
Now, what is your major, and what will it allow you to do once you graduate?
I'm a global studies and maritime affairs major, very similar to international logistics, international relations, and I'm hoping to go into the intelligence agency, go to work for some intelligence agency back east in Washington, D.C. or somewhere like that.
Where did you play high school soccer, and kind of reminisce about your experiences there?
I played at John F. Kennedy High School in Sacramento. It was a great experience. Really kind of grew my love for soccer and decided I wanted to play soccer in college there. Just the bonds that you build with your teammates and the bond you build with the coach and just the love of the game, really. It's great.
Talk a little bit about this team. If you were kind of like scouting the Keel Haulers, what would you say about California Maritime?
Well, we're a tough defensive team. We pride ourselves on our defense and our defensive nature, but we have some key players in there like Ryan Jackson who can provide that quick strike offense and can really turn the tables on other opposing teams.
Of course, as a goalkeeper, you're kind of the last line of defense from preventing the ball going into the net. Sometimes do you feel like you're in a shooting gallery depending on certain games, or other games your team is doing so well controlling the ball at the other end that you're basically kicking back, reading the sports page and having a latte?
Yeah, it can be either way a lot of times, and as much as you want to participate in the game, sometimes you just want to be sitting back there and relaxing. But it depends on the teams we play. Yesterday, in our first match, was a bit of a shooting match, but as to be expected with just our first game of the season. So we're still growing, and it's a great time.
What do you know about Marymount, California coming into tonight's game?
I know that they're a very strong team. They made the conference finals last year. They're greatly coached. They have strong offense, and I think they're going to lead the South CalPAC conference, and definitely, hopefully, we'll see them in the tournament at the end of the year.
Cal, thanks for the visit. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.
Our guest is Jim Erickson, one of the MCU Mariners. And Jim, first of all, let's talk a little bit about this team. You're already off to a strong start, 5-2.
Yeah, I mean, our start was pretty good in now, and last game was a loss against Westmont, 1-0. But I think we played pretty good, but we had struggling to score, and that was a problem. But before that, yeah, great start. Went up to San Francisco, played William Jessup and Simpson, 2 good games. Got 2 decent wins there, and came back. And yeah, I mean, the team feels good, and as you can see, they're ready for tonight, though. So.
And you're from?
I'm from Sweden, so my English may be a little struggling. So I'm trying my best, though.
No, you're fine. I guess what I was trying to lead into is, how did you end up from Sweden here playing for Marymount, California University?
Oh, the coach before Mark, he came to Sweden to a showcase where me and Emil Peterson was playing, and he contacted us, and yeah, that's the way I came here. He gave me the opportunity to come to America, and I took it.
Let's talk about your experiences here in the United States. How long have you been here, and kind of maybe what's surprised you about Americans?
I think this is gonna be my 3rd year in America, and the way to play soccer is different from Europe. In Europe, we more like passing and stuff like that. In America, it feels like it's more going forward all the time, and it's a little bit more physical here in America as well. But I think our team is for the most part from Europe, so I think when we play against teams from America, they feel like they're playing different. Like I don't know how to say, we play different from Americans. Like, that's it, and I think we can surprise many teams because we have we think different, and the coach is from England as well, so we got some European style when we play soccer.
What is your major, and what do you hope to do with that degree once you graduate?
I'm going for business, though. My plan is take my major here, graduate from Marymount, probably stay a couple of years if I can find a job, something like that, and hopefully go back to Sweden, open my own business, and then we'll see how it goes.
Jim, thanks for the visit. Good luck tonight.
Say again?
Thanks for the visit and good luck tonight.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
Visiting with Mark Hervin, the men's head soccer coach at Marymount, California University. And Mark, obviously you're off to a good start, 5-2 overall. What's been kind of like the strength of your team so far?
It's been very pleasing. Fantastic pre-season. We brought some good new recruits in. The chemistry's been fantastic. The work rate's been excellent. And the start has been just as I wanted. Another conference game tonight. Good chance to get 4-0 in the conference, but it's going to be a tough game. They're certainly going to make it very tough for us.
Let's kind of break down your team kind of overall. Let's start with your goalkeepers.
Yeah, but do you know what? This is the best year we've ever had for goalkeepers. It's very, very tough to pick between them. They both do different things very, very well. I think if I could combine them together, I think I'd have a world-class goalkeeper. But you know, it's tough to pick between them. I've been going, taking in turns, alternating games. Unfortunately, last game we played, Nicholas got a red card and sort of like made my decision very easy to keep Christos in tonight.
Let's talk about your defenders.
Defensively, that was one of the main things I needed to strengthen last year. I think we brought two lads in. One is a Swedish lad, Christopher. He's not eligible until Monday, and then the big German Sasha, who I think has been first class. He's made a massive difference to us. A really good leader back there. We've got some good combinations. We've got plenty of left footers. And that's always good that we're not asking a right side player to play on the left hand side, so the balance is good. So I think we're definitely stronger back there. We've got some height, some size and some strength.
Let's take a look at your midfielders.
Midfieldly, I think that's where our playmakers are. I think we've got Scott Smith, who I generally believe is one of the best centre midfield players you'll find in NAIA over here. Backed up with a new lad, Sam, that I brought in. A very good defensive holding player along with Emil. And they really give Scott a good bit of freedom to go forward and join in with the front two. So, you know, that's where our playmakers is, and I packed the centre of midfield of all three of them, and they're forming a very, very good partnership together.
So your forwards overall, who do you look to score?
Well, we've strengthened our forward line. We're changing the system tonight. We're going to play with two up top instead of three. We brought Fernando Ruiz in from community college here in LA Harbour, and of course, you know, he's very extremely strong, and I believe he's playing with Victor, who I believe is the best striker in the NAIA, and they complement each other very, very well. And you know, Scott and Victor, they've been with us 4 years, and I think you're seeing the end product of 4 very good years, and this is their last year, and they play tremendously well together.
What do you know about your opponent tonight, California Maritime?
Well, it's their second game. They played last night, which is good for me, I hope, because I'm hoping that they're going to be a little bit leggy. But you can never tell on that. They had a mixed year last year. A good coach. You know, I think they're starting very late. Well, this is our 8th game. This is only their second game, and I think what I'm hoping is that their match fitness is going to be tested tonight. So I'm looking for a fast pace, but I'm sure they're going to give us a good game. You know, they're going to go as long as we allow them to. You know, and if we can really get off to a flying start, I'm hoping that, you know, their match fitness sort of like shows a little bit.
Kind of a quick handicap about the California Pacific Conference.
A quick handicap?
Yeah, basically, as far as the other teams that you're looking at, who's probably going to be very tough for you the rest of the season?
Well, look, Embry-Riddle is the team that won it last year, and they got a new head coach who's very experienced. A lot of players remain from last year, so you've got to say they're going to go very, very close. Soka's got off to a fantastic start. La Sierra is going to be a very tricky opponent as well. I think the southern area of the CalPAC is going to be a little bit stronger than the northern. We've got 13 games, so you know it's a lot of games to be consistent. But I think Embry-Riddle is going to be the team to catch. But watch out for La Sierra and Soka.
Mark, thanks for the visit. Good luck tonight.
No problem. Thank you.
Fernando Ruiz and Victor Algren kick off to start the second half at Seahawk Stadium on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College in Wilmington. Along for our camera operator Robert Linkram and our production assistant Debbie and Nora, I'm David Smock. Great to be with you tonight on the MCU Sports Network. Already Marymount, California with a 7-1 lead, looking for their 4th California Pacific Conference win of the year, and it looks like that they are going to go to 4-0 in the CalPAC. We have some stats for you from the first half, and I think probably what's most interesting is California Maritime only had 1 shot on goal. That was the one goal, the very first one of the game by Will Lindsay. And Patrick Wehan getting the assist for the Keel Haulers on that goal. But then since then, it's been 7 unanswered goals. Victor Algren, an assist by Scott Smith at the 27:07 mark, tied it up at 1-1. Algren getting a second goal at 21:56. That one was assisted by Fernando Ruiz. Jason Milletti got in on the action at the 21:22 mark, making it 3-1 in favor of MCU. Victor Algren getting the assist. Algren coming right back with the hat trick, his third goal of the first half at 16:23. And Scott Smith getting an assist on that. And then exactly at the 14-minute mark, Tony Gonzalez getting a goal to make it 5-1 in favor of the Mariners. Victor Algren and Sacha Hacker getting the assist at the 11:02 mark. Scott Smith got his first goal of the night, assisted by Algren. And then Algren at about the 8:16 mark, assisted by Smith. And that's where we stand right now. The Marymount, California University Mariners 7 and the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers 1. Now, if you heard Algren's name a lot, well, that's true because of the 7 goals in the first half scored by Marymount, California. Algren had a hand in all of them. He had 4 goals and 3 assists for the Mariners in the first half, and that very well could be an MCU record, but already 7 points in the game. Actually, if you count 2 points for the goals as they usually do, in that case, then it's 11 points in the first half just by Victor Algren. So it's 7-1, and we're just 3 minutes plus into the second half. Those of you who may just be joining us here on the MCU Sports Network, California Maritime Academy, located up in Vallejo, California, in the Bay Area. They are in the all-white uniforms and in the brand-new blue and gold striped jerseys, the Marymount, California University Mariners. Of course, the Mariners with their Ocean View campus on Rancho Palos Verdes, have a waterfront campus in downtown San Pedro, and what they now call their Lakeside campus. That's going to be located up in the town of Lucerne, up in Lake County in Northern California. And Batterson with the throw-in, but before he could do so, a whistle being blown by the referee. Daniel Radford is the referee for this contest, along with the assistant goalie. And now he's going to call over Tyler Boyd. And also coming over is Fernando Ruiz. As we mentioned, Tyler Talon, a 5'7", 135-pound sophomore out of Elk Grove from Laguna Creek High School. He was in goal in the first half for California Maritime. And now Kyle Carpenter, who we interviewed on the pregame show, well, Kyle Carpenter is in goal here in the second half for California Maritime. 6'2", 165-pound senior goalkeeper from Sacramento from John F. Kennedy High School. Yeah, the injured player a little slow to get up. Hobbling a little bit. We'll see whether or not he can stay in. Again, college rules, you can come out of a game and re-enter later, whereas international soccer rules or Major League Soccer, for example, the pro level here in the United States, if you come out of a game, you're done for the night, so to speak. Very much like baseball in that regard. You come out of a baseball game and your playing time in that game has ended. So now it appears that it's going to be a penalty kick awarded. We'll see who's going to take the penalty kick. And it's going to be Fernando Ruiz who will take the penalty kick against Kyle Carpenter. And the penalty kick is good. And the hit parade continues at the 39:55 mark. This is counting down from 45 minutes as Ruiz on a penalty kick. That's our first goal unassisted tonight. And now they have not put it up on the board yet. There's nothing to indicate that it wasn't good. We'll see whether or not we're going to do that. But meanwhile, Algren, 4 goals and 3 assists. Wow, he just went wide right on that one, and they have not counted the goal. So perhaps that penalty kick not counting. If that's the case, our score still remains 7-1 in favor of Marymount California University. Of course, it was Marymount College up until August 1st. And then as of August 1st, became Marymount California University, as the university now will be offering master's degrees. And now they put the goal up on the board. So the penalty kick by Ruiz was good against Kyle Carpenter, 1-on-1. And now the Mariners have an 8-1 lead. On the far side, throw in coming up for the Keel Haulers. Of course, we had a number of interviews in our pregame show. We certainly want to thank Kyle Carpenter and Ryan Jackson from California Maritime Academy, along with Jim Erickson and head coach Mark Hervin of Marymount, California. A battle for control of the ball, and it goes out of bounds anyway. Adam Christodoulou is the head coach at California Maritime Academy in his 5th season. As we mentioned, Mark Hervin, the head coach at Marymount, California. Carpenter is maybe trying to take some time off the clock, being very slow. Of course, referee can call a delay of game, but I don't think in this kind of contest, 8-1, that perhaps referee Daniel Radford is really very concerned much about that. Carpenter's kick is going to be headed by one of the Mariners. Yeah, and Marymount, California on the attack. And an opportunity there, and another goal. That would be Scott Smith. And for Smith, that would be his 2nd goal of the night. Not sure who touched it beforehand. But it may have been Victor Algren, which if that's the case, that would give Algren his 4th assist to go along with 4 goals. Haven't put it up on the scoreboard yet, but that should make it 9-1. Now the question becomes, can they match the 16 goals that they had in their other game this season when they blanked Pacific Union in the opening game of the CalPAC Conference, California Pacific Conference? Substitution for MCU. So Bobby Long comes in, replacing Sacha Hacker. They've kind of changed numbers here with the new uniforms. So far in a game and a half here at Seahawks Stadium on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College, the Mariners have outscored the opposition 25-1. If there's ever an argument to make this stadium the home field of Mariner soccer, that would be it. One of the problems, of course, this is a very popular facility with the artificial turf. You have Los Angeles Harbor College soccer, you also have men's and women's soccer, you also have the Los Angeles Harbor College football team. Kyle Carpenter doing a diving save right in front of the goal mouth. Some nice goalkeeping by Kyle Carpenter. So you kind of factor in the college's use of Seahawk Stadium. Again, men's and women's soccer plus football, and then other activities that take place here. And Algren with the ball, trying to see if he can make something happen over in the corner, and the ball's going to go over the end line. And there's going to be a yellow card issued. Looks like Tyler Boyd, perhaps for CMA, being called for that. I don't think it's against Algren. In the meantime, one of the Mariners way over in the corner, out of bounds, having a corner kick. Well, they just kind of keep it on the ground. And the ball just going to the right of the goal. Could be a substitution. Looks like Boyd going out. Coming in over on the far side for California Maritime Academy. Yeah, it could be Alex Sikulski, 5'10", 145-pound sophomore defender from San Francisco out of Sacred Heart Cathedral Prep. So Kyle Carpenter will place the ball on the turf and restart play. Clock continuing to run down. 27 minutes and 19 seconds remaining in regulation. At a huge lead for Marymount, California, on top 9-1. At this point, if you're the head coach of either team, Adam Christodoulou for California Maritime and Mark Hervin for Marymount, California, you basically just want to get out of this game with nobody being injured. You know, we already know that Jim Erickson, who has been starting some games for Marymount, California, he's out tonight because of a hamstring injury. So, you know, obviously you don't want any other injuries where players are going to miss games. Very cool night. So Mauricio Vasquez trying to get something going there before that ball went out of bounds. I would think that perhaps because the players are running up and down the pitch, that this cool weather is advantageous as opposed to hot weather. Oh, and there's a header on the throw-in. Carpenter running into one of the players. I think that was incidental contact. Well, they're going to issue a yellow, and I think the yellow is going to go against Carpenter. Quite honestly, I thought it was incidental contact going up for the ball, but a yellow card has been issued, and they're thinking that maybe Carpenter threw his shoulder a little bit. Clock had stopped, but restarts now with 25 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Moved away by Lindsay. Now kicking it and clearing out as it goes out of bounds is Brian Edmiston. Edmiston, a 6'1", 165-pound junior midfielder for California Maritime. Out of Elk Grove from Elk Grove High School, just south of Sacramento. And a shot on goal just goes wide left by Mauricio Vasquez, a 5'11" freshman forward from Guadalajara, Mexico, out of Otay Ranch High School. Carpenter making the long trek, and he's jogging, but again, that's at least 100 feet or more. Maybe one of these days we'll get a chance to measure it, how much room is behind the goal line all the way to the fence when the ball is kicked out of bounds behind the goal. Carpenter placing the ball down, and he'll place it back into play. Clock continuing to run. First half with Marymount, California controlling the ball in the right half of the pitch. Now as they're going right to left in the second half, they're doing a good job of controlling it on the left half. Already with 2 more goals here in the second half. A 7-1 lead at the break. There's Algren, 4 goals and 3 assists in the first half tonight. He's just doing a nice job moving around Lindsay. And now it's going to be intercepted and kicked away. So 7 goals in the first half, 4 of them by Victor Algren. He had also 3 assists, so he had a hand in every single one. Restart coming up on the free kick. We'll see whether or not it's going to be Smith or Algren who will take it. And setting up the line. And now Algren will take the kick. It goes right into the middle of the wall. And a scramble for control. Coming over is Alex Martinez. And he kicks it downfield. Goes over to Voglis just to say, Christos, hope you're still awake. Voglis gave up the first goal of the game, but otherwise it's really been an ineffective offense as far as California Maritime's concerned. I know we kind of joke about Voglis having lots of time to catch up on homework and read the sports page and maybe drink some coffee or something like that, but the fact of the matter is Christopher Voglis has not had very much to do in this game because of his offense and also some pretty good defense as well by the Mariners. Carpenter's kick on the restart. Near side to Vasquez. Gets back over, I think that's Patterson. 20 minutes, 45 seconds left in this one. I don't think we'll have to worry about the possibility of overtime tonight. A 9-1 lead for MCU, and the ball goes over the end line. We thought it might be one of those evenings where it'd be kind of balmy and very nice here at Seahawks Stadium in Wilmington, California. But quite honestly, here on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College, actually a very cold night. And now a corner kick coming up for MCU from the far side, a little header, and that's going to go left of the goal. David Smock, along with our camera operator, Robert Linkram, our production assistant, Debbie and Nora. Great to be with you tonight on the MCU Sports Network. A lot of soccer left to be played by the Mariners, and a lot of soccer we hope to bring to you on the MCU Network. And now it looks like there's going to be a substitution as Juan Melendez goes out, and coming in is Alson Sandley. Kyle Carpenter getting a lot of kicking practice as he puts the ball back into play in the circle. And that one's going to be kicked back all the way back to Vogelis, who's going to go over on the far side to bring that ball in and kick it over to one of his teammates. With the ball is Pengua. Over to Pengua, almost right in front of our broadcast location. Nice move to get around Garrity. Edmondson putting the ball up high. A collision there involving one of the Mariners and Ryan Jackson. And we mentioned Jackson from Palos Verdes High School playing for California Maritime, and the kick goes out of bounds. Ryan Jackson wearing number 7 on the back of his California Maritime Academy uniform, almost out near the Seahawk emblem at midfield. He's kind of surrounded around by 3 Mariners. As Jackson's goalie, Kyle Carpenter, once again will kick to put the ball back into play. 17.5 minutes remaining, 9-1. Marymount, California leading California Maritime by 8. Couple of substitutions. We'll check to see if that was for CMA or MCU. Yeah, maybe a couple of substitutions. We'll try to pick them up for you as we go along. With the ball is Garrity. Has to get over to Hayes, Zach Hayes. He moves it over to Sikulski. Back over to Sikulski. Oh my gosh, what a great move by Smith. And now shot on goal by Smith, grabbed out of the air by Kyle Carpenter of California Maritime. Smith did a nice move and just kind of blew past the would-be defender for the keel haulers. Vasquez with the ball. Nine on the board. And there's just a little shot to the right of the goal. That's going to be handled by Carpenter, even though he ended up on the ground to save it. And it was Victor Algren again. Again, these new uniforms, the blue and gold jerseys of California, Marymount, California, I should say. Very nice, but a little difficult to pick up the numbers. Now a substitution for California Maritime. So the new player, Tyler Boyd. See, 14 was on the, 14 came in. So Tyler Boyd, 5'9", 155-pound freshman defender, midfielder from Mission Viejo, out of Mission Viejo High School. There's Algren getting past the goalie, but not until Carpenter landed on the ball first. I'll tell you, even though Kyle Carpenter's given up 2 goals in the second half, he's had some really good saves. I almost wonder if Carpenter perhaps is going to win that #1 starting goalkeeper job. Tyler Talon, who was the goalkeeper in the first half, gave up 7 goals. There's always a possibility they were trying to give Carpenter some rest, since just 26 hours ago the keel haulers played their first game of the year at Soka University down in Laguna Niguel. That was a game that the Soka University Lions won 1-0. So a free kick coming up. We'll see who's going to take the free kick. We see Brian Edmiston, number 2, going over there. Set up of the wall. And the kick right off of Krostos Vogel's hands, but he saves the ball. And the kick was made by Zach Hayes on that free kick. 13:41 remaining. Clock counting down here at Seahawk Stadium. Right after the game, we'll name our man of the match, and I think we have a pretty good idea who that's going to be. Bucked away by Edmiston. Trying to be saved by Garrity before it goes out of bounds. Quick throw in for the Mariners. Now it's over to Smith. Smith trying to put it right in front of the goal mouth. And actually kicked up in the air by Hayes. And then Carpenter just kind of made sure it didn't really have a chance to come down and cross that line. So it'll be a corner kick on the far side. Here at the stadium, that part of the field kind of in darkness, not with the bright lights that we normally see here. We'll try to see who's going to take that kick, and it appears it's going to be Scott Smith. Smith, 5'11" senior from Newcastle, England. He puts the ball right in front of the goal mouth. And that's going to be handled by Carpenter. Carpenter looked like he was going to throw over to the far side. Had a little bit of a fake, and now decides to do a kick downfield. Being intercepted by Ryan Jackson. Jackson has the ball marked off of him. Under 12 minutes to play. Marymount, California, 9, and California Maritime, 1. You've seen a lot of goals tonight. The second and last, quote, home game here at LA Harbor College. But it's been a favorable pitch for the Mariners, as combined with the 16-0 shutout of Pacific Union, the Mariners have outscored the opposition here in 2 games so far, 25-1. You know, we thought when Will Lindsay got the first goal with 37:53 to play in the first half that perhaps the Mariners would have to fight hard to get back into the game, but it really only took a little more than 10 minutes before Victor Algren got the equalizer. He also got the go-ahead goal. We'll check again on the substitution for Marymount, California. Anthony Tedeschi, 5'7" freshman from Tarzana out of Crespi High School, into the ball game now for the Mariners, taking over for Scott Smith. Free kick coming up on a restart. And that'll go wide left of the goal. Exactly 10 minutes left to play in this one. An opportunity for Marymount, California to go 4-0 in the Cal Pac Conference. And of course, they have some very important matches coming up, home matches against the Soka University Lions and the Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University Eagles. And those will both be home-and-home series. The Soka home game will be first, and the Mariners will host at the StubHub Center. And then they will go down to Orange County to play. Coming out of the game, Zach Hayes for California Maritime. And Ben Timon. I'm sorry, check that. Timone. Ben Timone back into the ball game for the Keel Haulers. So anyway, we're talking about the home and home series with Soka, and like I said, that'll be at field number 5, the StubHub Center. And then Embry-Riddle, the Mariners will host the Eagles at Long Beach City College. Of course, there'll be the return match as well for the Mariners going over to Prescott, Arizona. The referee, Daniel Radford, has told Kyle Carpenter, the goalie there, getting ready to kick the ball for California Maritime, to kind of maybe speed up a little bit, putting the ball back into play, as we've noticed before that even though he was jogging, it was still taking quite a bit of time for Carpenter to get the ball from wherever it ended up out of bounds in position to resume the game. I think as a referee in a game like this, being 9-1, you just really kind of want for both teams to kind of get it over with and be done with it. You certainly want to make sure that the other team becomes so frustrated that it becomes a little chip. Oh, shot on goal, that blocked by the body of Carpenter, and the follow-up goes out of bounds. Wow. That was kind of like one of those bang-bang plays where it seems like all of a sudden the Mariners found themselves with an opportunity. And good shot on goal by Fernando Ruiz, and a corner kick coming up now for Marymount, California. We mentioned before, this is one of the 23 California State Universities, and if you look at their email addresses, for example, they go by CSUM, as if California State University Maritime. And one of the Mariners taking a tumble. 5:49 to play. This one quickly winding down. It's been almost 27 minutes since our last goal. And it's still 9-1. So the kick in by Jim Erickson. Oh, check that. Nicholas. All right, we have a 26, but not on our roster. So in 8 games, the Marymount, California University Mariners have only given up 11 goals, as we have the 10-second countdown. So a very impressive win tonight, as we have triple zeros on the scoreboard. Final score, the Marymount, California University Mariners 9, and the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers 1. Our man of the match, no doubt about it, Victor Algren, with 4 goals and 3 assists, all in the first half. And he not only gets the equalizer, but also the winning goal when he made it 2-1. He also had a hat trick in the first half as well. So Victor Algren of Marymount, California University, our man of the match. So with the win, Marymount, California now goes to 6-2 overall, 4-0 in the California Pacific Conference. And for the California Maritime Academy Keel Haulers, they are 0-2 overall and also 0-2 in CalPAC play. Now for our camera operator, Robert Linkram, our production assistant, Debbie Honora, David Smock saying so long from Seahawk Stadium on the campus of Los Angeles Harbor College in Wilmington. Once again, tonight's final score, the Marymount, California Mariners 9 and the California Maritime Keel Haulers